Hi Scorpio, this is your November predictions for Tropical Zodiac Astrology 2013 with me, Lada from astrolada.com. And this is for anyone who have their ascendant sun or moon in Scorpio or Venus for that reason. Venus is the planet of love. You can check in what sign your Venus is and listen to if there is anything happening in that sign that can disturb it. And actually a lot is happening in Scorpio this month in November. And you feel it in October big time as well. You feel it a month before the eclipse and a month or couple of months after the eclipse. And the eclipse is happening the first week of November for you Scorpios. Whether it's your ascendant, sun, moon, or Venus that is being eclipsed, you will feel it. So it's a big time for big changes into the life of Scorpios. Not all of them will feel it, but those of you who have their ascendant or moon in Scorpio from around the 7th to around the 15 degrees, particularly at the 10th, 11th, 12th, because the eclipse is happening in the 11th house in the 11th degree of Scorpio. And you can see it from my birth chart calculator. You can see what degree is your ascendant, what degree is your moon. I'm putting a link for my birth chart calculator. Let's do astrology properly. Let's not just talk generally about everyone. Not all the Scorpios in the world are going to have a totally life-changing experience, but those of you around, 12, 13, 14, 10 degrees, 9 degrees in Scorpio, ascendant or moon will feel it. Or those, if it's your sun is on those degrees, which means that you're born from around the 1st to around the 8th of November, particularly around the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, in the middle. The eclipse is happening right on your sun, moon, ascendant, or Venus if you have around the 11th degree of Scorpio, the 10th, 9th, 11th. Definitely, you will feel big changes. An eclipse like this one always tends to bring something that has been brewing for a while, for instance, and you haven't had the energy or the courage to do it. Now the eclipse can make it escalate. If it's your Venus at those degrees, it might be a change in your relationships, like a new relationship coming and not going away, or you feel very fearful, for instance, because the eclipse hides the light. So if it's your sun, moon, or ascendant, the sun, for instance, is your career, and when the eclipse happens on your sun, basically born around from the 1st till the 8th of November, you might feel very disconnected from your career, or fearful about your career, or worried about what's happening there in your goals. The sun also represents yourself. What is your true role in this life? Usually people think that who they are is their career, and the biggest role they play is their career. But if their career that they're following is not true to who they are, they can feel a total disconnection during an eclipse, a total dissatisfaction from this career. Or if you're not even aware, if they're not aware of that, actually their career can be taken away from them, so they can find who they truly are. But the eclipses always take out old things to make space for new ones. So if you're born around those days, from the 1st to 8th of November, definitely you can feel something like that, and you can feel a lot of worry, especially in October and the November, month before and after the eclipse, especially the first week of November. You might feel inexplicably paranoid or fearful or worried. If it's your moon in those degrees, from around 7 to 15 degrees, emotionally, then there is an eclipse on your emotions, so you might feel like either emotionally stressed, tense, or empty, something unusual happening in your emotions. And in the moon is your emotional attachments, so it can disconnect you from something you feel emotionally attached till now, and just upturn your emotional and personal life upside down to introduce something new. Maybe changes with your home, maybe changes with your family, maybe changes with your residence, maybe changes with the people you're attached to, loved ones, and also can introduce new such into your life, new developments which are like life altering. Because an eclipse, this kind of eclipse, the solar eclipse, is about new beginnings. It's a fructification of the sun almost, because it's a new moon with an eclipse. So like fated events happen during this time. So whatever happens, don't worry. Whether you lose a job, whether you get a new job, eclipse on the sun, if you're born from the 1st till the 8th of November can actually bring you a new job, can bring you a brand new career, or can end an old career. Something very important and fated can happen in regards to your path in life, to who you are, to your relationships. If it's the moon or the ascendant as well, the ascendant is the path in life, is the physical body. Watch out your health. Don't go doing risky things, especially the first week of November, or, the last week of October, the first week of November, because eclipses on the sun are known even to cause, the final goodbye for earthly life. Not as very rare, but also watch out your father if you're born from about the 1st to the 7th of November, because the sun represents the father, authority figures. There can be some crisis happening there as well. Or the sun is your own self-identity, so something happening with your self-identity as well, and some new self-identity has to emerge. So very, very big changes, and some of you just might feel more tension and more worry, and they're feeling that something new is emerging, but they're not clear about what it is, because eclipse is hiding of the light, and because of they feel something is about to change, something is about to happen, but they're not sure what it is, and this creates this worry in their whole body and this feeling of stress. Or if your Venus is around those degrees, the 11th, the 10th, the 9th, the 12th, in Scorpio, it might be a relationship that take a total overhaul. And total swap and change. The ascendant as well in those degrees is very much connected to relationships and the people on your path. Anyway, enough of the eclipse. Let's see, because the eclipse can be great for some people. Like, it brings something that they've, something fated, that if they veered off the path, say they started chasing a career as acting, they have to be a car mechanic. So now the eclipse can really push them into the direction they're supposed to be. Eclipses are fated things, basically. You don't have much control over them. So whatever comes to you, be peaceful, be accepted as the finger of God who is telling you this is what you're supposed to be. I'm pushing you on the right path right now. This is fated. This was agreed to happen to you even before you were born. Your soul agreed this. This is what eclipses tend to do, even though they can be disruptive because of the change they make. And let's see, good things are coming. But a lot of awareness is coming in November to a lot of people about who they truly are, because it's happening in the first house in Scorpio, of what their path is supposed to be, because eclipse is in the first house, as I said. And they can be people can be just feeling enlightened or have a breakthrough, and often preceded by some crisis because of the eclipse. They can have a breakthrough about who they are and what they're meant to be and what path they're supposed to follow. And okay, let's see. And Jupiter is in the 9th house, helping you from there. And so who will be helping you in this process? Teachers, people who 9th house rules all the teachers. It doesn't mean professors. It can be professors, literally, but people who appear in your life as spiritual guides and as teachers. Or maybe you just switch on the TV, you hear something that guides you through this period of the eclipse, and that makes things more meaningfully. Or an astrologer. 9th house is consultants. 9th house is advisors, counselors. Or maybe you just watch this video and say you're ascendant in Scorpio and you're really going through this transformation of the self, this new beginning into your life, that the eclipses and Saturn day in Scorpio is triggering. It's been triggering for a while, and it's going to become extremely acute in October and November. And you might feel so scared and worried, but you hear this astrological you hear this astrological advice, and this is something that helps you. Help is coming from the 9th house, from Jupiter, like advisors, gurus, counselors, astrologers. You can find meaning and purpose through studying some more in-depth spiritual teachings, some philosophical teachings as well. And Jupiter in the 9th house is fantastic anyway for everyone who is involved in higher education, who is trying to get accepted in higher education, who is trying to get exams of any kind, who is working with the mind, and who wants to get ahead in that area, or who wants to start studying something new, which is actually will help them find will help them later on step on the right path in life. Now, whatever inspiration to study or to learn something new you get is the right thing to do. So go for it. So maybe you hear a friend says, I started a photography class, and all of a sudden you feel very inspired. Listen to that, and you want to study it. Actually take this as a sign again, as an impulse given to you from above, because Jupiter is impulses that God, or let's say the good forces, bring to us, not the lower forces that try to confuse us often, the forces of desire. Anyway, so ninth house, so good for education, good for travel. If any of you is traveling, it's a great time. Just watch out the first week of November again for your physical health. If your ascendant, sun or moon is particularly at the degrees I said, and something good can happen from spiritual advisors, from counselors, from foreign people as well, from people who come from different cultures. It's the ninth house, Jupiter there. It means these people can be a source of light, of help in some way, of facilitating your life, making the process of change better, or anything that you're studying right now will help you to find who you are truly, what your true path in life is. Let's see. What else? And Jupiter will help some of you, those who are born from the 11th till the 14th of November. They'll have very positive influence from Jupiter, actually. Or those who have their sun or moon from around 17 till 21, 22 degrees in Scorpio, ascendant or moon from around 17 to around 21, 22 degrees in Scorpio, and those born from the 11th till 12th of November, Scorpios, sun in Scorpio, they have Jupiter transit. They feel it fully. They feel the trine of Jupiter, which is 100% strong aspect, which means that no matter that there is big changes in their life, the eclipse is not happening close to the degree so much. So these will be people who breathe a bit more through this month. Things will go much more easier for them. Doors will open for them career-wise. If you're born from around the 18th, from around the 11th to the 12th of November, because the sun is there, so Jupiter aspecting the sun will bring some new career developments or some new opportunities to do with your personal goals and to do with how you feel about yourself, influx of confidence, of positivity. If it's your moon or ascendant, it can be, again, you're finding directions about the path you have to follow in life. Your ascendant, it can be good for your health, for your confidence. Again, if it's the moon, it's your emotional relationships and something good happening in regards to emotional relationships. Or your home, something great can be happening in regards to your home or property, because moon rules those things as well. Okay, let me take a breath. I think that's what it is, Scorpios. A lot of developments in happening, first house. So it's a lot about yourself, who you are, who you're supposed to be. But wise teachers or God's counsel or is also helping you through the ninth house, through the rays of Jupiter there. So you are not left alone through this life-changing periods that you're going through. Actually, you'll be given a lot of support and a lot of support in the shape of intuitions, maybe in the shape of dreams, in the shape of wise advice, or you're opening a newspaper and reading something and, like lucky coincidences, as we call it. So thank you very much, Scorpio, and I'll see you next month.